phone is very helpful.
Is it because you put it on your head?
This is the bare bones setup.
So the tables provided by Javits are actually too thick. They're too thick for my photo stand. So this is the table provided by Javits. This is my 6-foot folding table that I brought in, which means that this is not wide enough for all of my prints. So I've had to kind of do this kind of weird thing. It's fine. I don't love it, but it's whatever. Were you helpful?
Helpful, yeah, helpful. Very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That was helpful.
I feed my hubby. AnimeNYC day 1.
Day 0? It's preview night. The Thursday. I'm bringing some more stuff in.
Hello. We are all set up at AnimeNYC. I have my cute little exhibitors booth. So I'll do a little walkthrough. This is the 8-foot table that came with the booth, and then this is the 6-foot table that I brought in. It's just a folding table, a standard folding table, and I did like a little L-shape formation. I think it looks really cute. So on this side I have plushies, which are right here. I think this was a really good spot at Otakon to put my plushies because everybody that walks by wants to pet them. And then I have some stickers and bookmarks here that are $5 each, buy 4 get 1 free. So everything on this tray matches or goes with that deal, is part of that deal. And then I have 2 things of sticker sheets here. I tried to bring as many sticker sheets as I possibly could. So I brought literally every sticker sheet I have is here. So some of them are lower stock than others because I just didn't have that many left, but that's fine. And then up here I have my mystery packs, $15 each for 2 prints and 2 stickers. I have my hair claws that came in finally. I think this ended up looking really cute. I have these little folding crate things that ended up accidentally matching the flower colors of the hair claws, and I think it just ends up looking really nice. So I'm happy about that. And then I have my washi tapes here with my little washi tape sign so you can see what the tapes look like rolled out. Over here are enamel pins. I decided to tape my enamel pin sign to this like display thing instead of clipping it to the top, because when I clipped it to the top it was so high, so tall. So I think this looks better. And then that way these prints aren't hidden by the enamel pin sign. And then over here I have 5 of my 8x10 prints for self-serve. I have my calendars here, so if they want a calendar they can flip through here and also grab one from here. On this side are all of my prints. I did bring pretty much the same prints as I did to Otakon, except I swapped out 2 prints so I could bring my 2 new Sanrio prints. I have a little Pom Pom Purin one and a little Karopi one. I think they're cute. And then on the photo drop, so as I talked about yesterday, the table that came with the exhibitor's booth is actually too thick for my photo stand that clamps onto the table. So, which is why I have the 6-foot table as the main table. So I have it clipped like this. So I managed to still get most of my prints up. There's just one print that I couldn't fit. But I have this kind of like, this part is a little bit lower than this part, and that kind of bothers me, but it's whatever, it's fine. And then my mouse pads are here, and then one extra. I only have a couple copies of this print left, so I don't mind that it's like kind of separate from the rest. And if I sell out of this one, I'll just take it down. But yeah, that's the whole setup. I think it's pretty cute. I'm excited. I hope it's a good show. So I don't think I ever talked about why I'm doing an exhibitor's booth this time around, but let me explain, okay? Because normally I would not be doing an exhibitor's booth. Normally I would be doing a regular artist alley table, but the reason I'm doing exhibitors is because I was waitlisted for the first round of acceptances for ANYC, and I like had a full crash out because ANYC feels very near and dear to me. It was my first ever convention. I really love this convention. I really love
getting to be here. I don't know. It just feels special because it was my first one. And I like was really upset that I got waitlisted for Artist Alley. So I immediately contacted the Exhibitor Booth salespeople to see if I could get an exhibitor's booth. They responded really quickly. I ended up getting my exhibitor's booth within like a week, I think, a week or a week and a half. This was back in April, I think. Yeah, this was back in April. And then pretty much the day after I had paid for my exhibitor's booth, which is $1,900, by the way. This booth costs me $1,900 compared to the Artist Alley table, which I think is around $475. The day after, I got off of the wait list for Artist Alley, but you can't really get a refund for exhibitors. Like, I didn't really want to get on anybody's bad side by asking for a refund, you know? So I just gave up the Artist Alley table and decided to commit to the exhibitor's booth, which is why I've like really done a huge display self-serve situation, because I'm really hoping that I can make back the cost of the 1900 exhibitors booth cost. It's so expensive. This is fine. I'm fine. But yeah, I hope it goes well. This is also the first year ANYC is doing a 4-day show instead of a 3-day show, so that's why we're here on Thursday. It's a half day. It's 4 to 8 p.m. and then we're gonna get dinner later with some friends. So I'm excited about that. But I don't really understand why they've added a 4th day to this con, because it doesn't seem like there are any really cool panels or anything happening today. So I don't really see what the incentive is for people to come on Thursday. But we'll see. Maybe I will eat my words, and maybe I will make so many sales. But yeah, that's enough yapping for now. I'm gonna go visit my friends. I bought chocolate on the way here, so I'm gonna go give some out. Waiting for me. It's busier than I thought it was gonna be, but 2 of my hair claws are missing. One of them I sold. One of them is gone. So whoever stole my hair claw, I hope your pillowcase is never cool at night. You suck. It's about 7 in the morning. It's the first official, well, technically it's the second official day, but the first full day of AnimeNYC. Yesterday was mid, a lot of browsing, but I'm hopeful today is a good day. I'm hopeful that I will be able to break even at least today. Time will tell if I feel like the exhibitor's booth price was worth it. We'll see. But I had a good time yesterday. I did a lot of knitting. Because I brought my knitting project. I'm currently working on some Christmas gifts for friends. And I saw a lot of friends, and we got Korean barbecue yesterday. I didn't eat any barbecue. I got budae-jjigae, which I really, really like. But my friends got, I smell like Korean barbecue. I smell great. And what else happened? I convinced a man to shop for me. It was very fun. This guy, hi, if you're watching, he came up to my booth, told me my art was really cozy and he really wanted to print, but he said that he was moving soon and so he couldn't store a print, which I think is totally fair. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's okay. And then I had the genius idea. Okay, genius. I'm so smart. A genius idea to be like, wait, but you could get something small, like a sticker or an enamel pin. And he was like, oh yeah, that's true. And he started looking. And then he was like, what's an enamel pin? And I pointed to my enamel pins and I was like, they're these little pins. And he was like, what do you do with them? And I showed him the pins that I have on my backpack. And I said, you can put them on your bags. You can like pin them on your
lapel of like a denim jacket or something, which is what I do a lot with my pins. And he was like, wait, that's a great idea. I have a denim jacket. And then he bought a pin. I don't know if that's his first ever enamel pin, but thank you. I was really excited. That was really cool. That was really fun for me. Thank you for buying an enamel pin. And if it's your first ever enamel pin, I hope this becomes a little collecting thing for you. I really love collecting my enamel pins, so from like artists and stuff. So okay, thank you. I'm gonna head out. It's so early, but the hours today are 10 to 7, and I would like to be there before 9. It takes an hour to get there. I would like to be able to walk around and set up again and stuff because I had like hid all my stuff. So yeah.
Bye bye. See you soon. There she goes. Run, boy, boy. Day 2. Everything's still very well stocked. I ended up moving my hair claws over here instead of putting them over there because of the theft. So I'm kind of sad I can't like display my stack of calendars up there anymore, but it's fine. It was mostly display only anyway, and people can like look through the whole calendar, and I can hand people calendars if they wanna like flip through without it being attached to the cube, so it's whatever. Didn't sell any big prints yesterday. Sold 1 mouse pad. We'll see. I think today will be a better day. I think more people will be walking through exhibitors. I don't know if that's just me being Delulu, but we live and we learn. Dropped off my usual chocolate for Anna. I'm a beautiful queen. Support my friend Apollo. She's my wife, my second wife after this one.
Spend $50 and I feed you a chip, but from my palm like you're a horse. I don't think you should do that.
Oh my god! Bye bye.
I haven't made money.
Apollo made a friend. Support Apollo. Support Apollo so that Apollo can buy her friend. What would you name the octopus?
That's a squid.
What would you name the squid? Sorry. So a fun little walkie update. I turned it on so I could have walkie-talkie time with my bestie, and I said hello, and then a man responded and said, hello, who is this? And I immediately panicked. So I'm making Marianne find an empty channel now. So it is 10:40 a.m. The traffic slow, which is kind of what I expected. It's usually pretty slow in the morning, but I just wanted to complain a little bit. This apparel person has moved into the aisle and has also blocked me on their side. See where that railing ends?
that's as far as they're allowed to go. But they've put the clothing rack and their mannequin in front of that rail, which is not allowed. And now my sightlines are completely gone. So Javits has some pretty strict rules with display height and just like, you know, like your display stuff. And I've always followed all of the rules for any artist alley, any exhibitors thing, because I am very scared of breaking rules in general. And it just feels kind of bad because I try so hard to be within the rules, and then other people are just breaking rules left and right, and the staff doesn't seem to care. This happened at AX too when I was there vending with Marianne, when I was helping her. It just feels bad, you know? Like, I try so hard to be in the rules, and then like, what's the point? It's going to be 85. Thank you. My little snack collection is growing. My patron Luvina came back and gave me these and this. Thank you so much. People are so nice to me. Thank you to my hubby. Hello, a little update. It is 6 p.m. It's about an hour out until the end of the day. Overall, my sales did pick up. The morning was very, very slow, like pretty empty. And then around lunchtime, it started really picking up. There was a lot more foot traffic. I think I vlogged a little clip of that. And yeah, it's just a lot more traffic, which means typically more people will like see something they like and stop. I haven't made the number of sales that I thought I would make, I guess. But I have made the revenue that I hoped I would make, which means that all of my sales have been, or not all of them, but I have had a very large amount of really like big sales, big purchases. So I just thank you so much for people who are finding me in this little corner and buying like a lot of my stuff. That's really cool. I've moved quite a few plushies. I've moved quite a few calendars, and that's very exciting for me. I have not moved a lot of mouse pads. The mouse pads did so well at Otakon and have sold like 5 here. So it's fine. Every con is a bit different. I'm generally pretty happy with my numbers, even though number of sales has been down. Or like not down, but like lower than I hoped, I guess. But yeah, that's my little update for now. I need to pee so bad, but I'm not going to because I refuse to use the bathrooms in Javits. And I just need to hold it for 1 more hour, and then I will be able to pee at a restaurant, which will maybe be clean. And I'm excited for dinner. She's running away! Where did you go? I treated myself This is much bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
I'm proud of you. It looks so good though.
This is Marianne's lamb vindaloo, which I definitely can't eat. It'll be too spicy for me. We just paid and we were given free dessert. Thank you so much. Back at my table. So I decided yesterday, because I was noticing a lot of people standing here waiting for their friends for Cream's booth, blocking my stuff. And then I also noticed, because a lot of people, they moved their display rack in, but because a lot of people wanted to like browse through the clothing, they would come and stand on my side of the booth. I'm gonna actually flip my display. I'm gonna move this table over to here, because that way if people are standing there waiting for their friends, my stuff won't get blocked. And then if people want to browse their clothing, they won't come into my booth because it's my booth. Exhibitors is a time, guys. This is how it looks now, changed. I actually think it looks better now. So even though I was feeling kind of lazy, I do like this. I think that now when people are looking at the stickers and sticker sheets, they kind of automatically will like start looking at the small prints. And then also I like that you kind of have to scan now. Originally I wanted to put my big prints together, but I think it's kind of nice that you go from like looking at these and then wanting to look at those, and then it kind of makes you scan the whole booth. And then people who are flipping through the calendar are no longer blocking all of the like enamel pins and sticker sheets. So I think that's also nice. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Marianne is here harassing my dogs. Are you flipping all of their ears?
Just one.
Marianne is here. We're gonna go walk around. Nobody is here yet other than us. That's fine. Usually, I only limit myself to one pin per con, but there were so many good pins. So these are from Shuli and these are from Cali Flare. I'm gonna give some to Marianne. So we have little matching guys. I'm so excited. The con just started. My fucking neighbor just knocked down all my shit, and now I can't find one of my display pins. I'm so angry. I'm so mad. It was like literally all on the floor. I don't know where one of my display pins are. I'm gonna scream. Vote for delivery. This is gonna cheer me up. So we're about an hour away from the end of day. It's 6 p.m. You should ignore me, should not look at my face. If my eyeliner is smudged, we're not going to talk about it. Overall thoughts, today has been slower than I thought it was going to be. I thought today was going to be much better than Friday. So far, I've just met the same number of the same revenue, more sales, but the same revenue as yesterday. So that feels kind of bad. And then also there's been a lot of foot traffic, but not a lot of people looking at my stuff. And what I've discovered about this L-shaped booth is that a lot of people like to loiter in my booth space because it's like a little bit of like free space, you know, to like stand in when there's a big crowd. And that's been frustrating because it means that they're just blocking my stuff. They're blocking everything. I'm also still experiencing the issue where people who are looking at my neighbor's clothing rack are blocking my plushies, and I've had to shoo people away. I had my neighbor's helper was yapping with some of his friends. Sorry, I have so much attitude right now.
he was yapping with his friends, and they were just blocking like a big portion of my booth, and I ended up, he was like, if it was just like a little bit, like 5 minutes or whatever, I wouldn't have cared, but they were there for at least 20 minutes, and I ended up having to go over and like literally be like, excuse me, if you're gonna have a yap sesh, don't do it in front of my stuff. And I like shooed them away with my hands, and then they like kind of laughed and then eventually left. But I was just like, it's just been really annoying. I've been having to deal with a lot of stuff that I don't normally have to deal with in Artist Alley, and it like makes me feel kind of bad. I've been having a bad day. It's fine.
It's our tradition. 3 years in a row.
She was too aggressive. She was too aggressive in her attempt to be tough.
I'm trying to be tough for my hoodie. You ruined her shit.
Day 3? No, day 4. Last day. Can you tell I've been crying? Chat, is it cringe to talk about having a bad time? I'll talk more about it at the con center, but overall, I'm still glad I did Exhibitor's Booth, but I'm not having a good time. But the best part of any con are the really nice attendees that come and give me snacks and chat with me and show me pictures of their cats and their dogs. And I love really, really nice attendees. I just am not having a good time in the exhibitor space. I'm not having a good time dealing with my neighbors. And I really miss the camaraderie of Artist Alley.
Okay, we're back. So I'm all set back up again. I have added these panels here. I'm hoping that this will deter people from fucking trying to reach over to their clothing rack. Angela actually came over and shoved their mannequin back, which is really funny. I love you, Angela. And I'm hoping these panels will deter people from like being in the way. And then also I've added this little glassine bag that says please pet us. And then I also have a little post-it that says no bags or drinks on my table. I've put it in a couple little corners where I've noticed that people have been putting bags. What was especially frustrating yesterday was the amount of people who thought it was okay to put their bag on my calendar. After the food spill that happened on my calendar, and then the bags, I think I'm just like out of shits to give. It's fine. And then also yesterday someone left their drink here and I had to throw it out, and that was kind of annoying, so that's why I put that little post-it there. Other than that, we sold out of my Lotus Pond bookmark, which I'm really happy about. I really loved that bookmark. I might reprint it. And then we also sold out of my May Patreon goodie bag sticker sheet, which I didn't have a lot of, but I've been trying to get rid of them. So I'm pleased about that. Everything else I have pretty much plenty of. The mouse pads have not really been moving. The enamel pins are doing okay. The most popular prints are still the most popular prints. So the Sanrio print, this one is doing really well. This one is doing really well. All the other ones have pretty good thick stacks left. People are not interested in my new Sanrio prints, which makes me kind of sad, but that's okay. I don't really know how to talk about this without sounding like entitled, I guess. But I think what I really miss about Artist Alley is the sense of camaraderie among artists. Like, I feel like artists in Artist Alley are like, we want to make money, but we also want to have a good time, and we want to like not inhibit other people around us from making money. And I feel like in exhibitors it's just a different game. I've had to deal with both of my neighbors across from me and my neighbors to this side, the left side of me, just not crowd controlling their own people, stepping into my booth to like take photos, stepping in my booth to take videos to show like, oh, how poppin' their booth is. And that's been really frustrating. Yesterday, the employee on to my left, he after the one that knocked over my display. I didn't talk about this, but after he knocked over my display and I was picking everything back up, he knocked it over a second time and it actually hit me in the head. And it was at 10 in the morning, so Exhibitors was already open, and I was extra frustrated because that meant that could have happened like when an attendee was there. I'm fine. The grids are really light. It's just really frustrating, and like he didn't even apologize the second time. And I originally was just gonna let it go, but I was so upset that I ended up confronting the owner of the booth. Your guy knocked over all my stuff, and now like some of my things are missing, and she ended up paying for it. So I feel like I can't complain, but it's just been so frustrating, and like I want to have a good time. I want to like be here and like happy and cheerful. I'm not going to cry. I want to be here and be like cheerful and happy, and like this is my favorite show because this is the first show I've ever done, and like I fought to be here, you know? Like I was like, oh, like if I can't get into Artist Alley, I'm gonna go into Exhibitors. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see if it's like better, if I'm gonna make more money, if like I'm gonna have a better time because it's maybe easier to find me. My booth is bigger. Oh fuck, I'm crying. And it's just the vibes are so bad. It's really sucked, and I love the attendees that have been really nice, but I've also had to deal with attendees just like stepping into my booth and like loitering. I had a guy yesterday who was just on his phone in my booth blocking all of the traffic, blocking all of the sight lines. And I feel like I can't complain. Like I'm here. It's so hard to get into AnimeNYC. So like I shouldn't be complaining, but like it feels bad, you know? It's just like every little thing adds up, and then also, you know, like the start of the day was so bad. So yeah, but I am also like, my friends have been really, really lovely to me. I had a really nice dinner with Marianne last night, and just my friends have been so supportive. That's why Angela shoved their mannequin. It's funny. I fucking love Angela. The really nice attendees are still really nice. I've had people be like, oh, if you're in Exhibitors, does that mean that you're like moving up in the world? Does that mean that you're getting really popular? Because I'm rooting for you. I've shopped with you. Like every time you've been here, I'm so excited that you're like in Exhibitors this year. Like the nice attendees are so nice. Oh my god, I can't put any of this in the vlog. I'm fucking sobbing again. Anyway, today's the last day. It's a 7-hour day. I'm gonna be fine. Maybe I will add this into the vlog. Maybe you guys, maybe I should be honest with you guys. Like I want you guys to know that Exhibitors fucking sucks.
Amazing!
The kimchi guy is actually really, really nice. And gave me a little guy. And I love her. Her name's Bells. She's beautiful. She's my child now. I've wanted her for so long, actually. Guys, one of my neighbors doesn't suck and is actually really nice.
An attendee gave this to me. Thank you.
So, apart from my neighbor, this neighbor, Creamchi, I still don't know how to say their name. Apart from them being really nice and giving me an attendee gave me a little crochet thing, and that was really cute. But another attendee came and bought a mouse pad and a calendar and a print, and their transaction didn't go through, but they'd already left because I had to take it offline because the service in here friggin' sucks. He came back because he said he got a text and he was about to leave. He got a text that the transaction didn't go through, and he was like, he told his friends that he has to come back, and he paid for it, and it went through, and that's so nice. I was just like assuming that the money was lost, you know, and it's just I really appreciate it when people do that. That's so nice.
Hello.
Anna's hanging out with me.
I do be. She came to cheer me up. There's a lot. I got the down low of the situation surrounding. Literally. Anna's a good friend. Anna and I did a trade.
I've wanted one of her bags for ages.
Bye bye.
He's dancing.
And the other one too.
And the other one's hungry. Boba's the other one. Boba's the hungry one. I'm the one trying to get Boba to cuddle me.
True.
Hello. That was a bit of a dramatic vlog, wasn't it? It's time for our AnimeNYC recap. Boba's here with me. She's lying on the floor. Hello, look at her. Being very cute. She's waiting for her breakfast. Let's talk about AnimeNYC. So, a recap, I guess. It was a rough time, but we learned a couple valuable lessons, okay? So I thought that we should go over them. Number one, if you're doing a very busy convention and you have a large booth, I don't recommend doing an inline booth. An inline like L-shaped booth. I think the inline L-shape worked really, really well at Otakon, and I think it would work really well at like a lower traffic market. I think it is really nice to be able to allow attendees to walk into your booth and to browse and to be able to accommodate more than just a couple attendees if they want to browse at like different things. I think that is really nice. However, at AnimeNYC, like I mentioned, there was a lot of loitering issues where people would just walk into my booth to get a breather from the crowd, and like that's totally fine on a normal basis, but because I was already dealing with a lot of crowd control issues from my neighbor, it just like was pretty frustrating, right? Because the more loitering, the more people blocking my stuff, the less opportunity there is for me to actually make sales. I don't know if that makes sense. So I did notice that on Saturday, every time that I mustered up the courage to go and ask an attendee to move, or even my neighbor's rude helper and his friends, when I asked them to move, almost immediately I would have people in my booth again looking at my stuff, and almost immediately I would be able to make a sale. So it was pretty direct correlation, being able to see people blocking my booth, me not making sales, me asking them to leave, getting sales again. So yeah, that's just one of the things I noticed. Also, I worked really hard on learning to advocate for myself this past weekend. I am not good at it. I find it very difficult. I think that I try very hard to be someone who is, for the most part, not noticed. I don't try to raise a fuss ever. I try to be perceived as nice. I think part of this is just the way that I was raised. So it was very, very difficult for me on Saturday to learn to just be like, hey, if you're waiting for someone, do you mind moving over? Do you mind not standing in front of my stuff? Thank you. Like, that seems like such an easy thing to say, but I found it so hard. And because I was so frustrated, the more that I thought about it, the more upset I was. I don't know if that makes sense. Like when all the emotions kind of build up. I don't know. When I was rewatching my footage, I feel like I didn't really explain very well why I was like crying. But yeah, it was really hard. And then on Sunday, I was much better about asking people to move over or to like not block my plushies, to not block my booth. And like nobody was mad at me. It was fine. And it got easier every single time. So this is a little reminder, no matter what you are working on, whatever you are doing, if someone is being rude to you or even unintentionally, it's okay to be like, hey, move over a little. Hey, stop doing that. It's okay to advocate for yourself, and it's okay to set boundaries. And
yeah, it's very hard for me. So we're working on it. Okay, we're learning. I talked about why I did exhibitors in the first place, but one of the nice things about exhibitors that is not true for Artist Alley is that you get to rebook, which means that next year, in theory, I don't have to worry about getting into Artist Alley anymore. And what I ended up doing is I did end up rebooking. I did not rebook an inline booth. I ended up booking a corner booth with my friend Apollo Fan Moi Moi. Fan Moi Moi? I don't know how to pronounce it in Cantonese. It's Fan Mei Mei. Anyway, this is her handle. Go and check her out. She makes really cute fish themed stuff. I have some of her clips now. I'm very excited about it. I wore her clips every single day at AnimeNYC. Yeah, I'm going to be splitting with her and we're going to be doing a corner booth. So I will have my table all the way up to the front, which means that I will not be dealing with any loitering issues. And hopefully that also means that because of my placement, I'm hopeful that I will no longer be dealing with the neighbors that I was dealing with. Yeah. Fun fact about my neighbor, I have not once name dropped them, because I don't want to be bullying anybody, okay, even though they did suck. But I did find out, one of my friends told me after the fact that they also have had a bad experience with that clothing neighbor, and they're one of the owners, the husband of the girl that owns it, scammed her dad. So that's cool. We don't like them. Anyway, so I did end up rebooking. That means that I don't have to worry about getting into Artist Alley next year, and it means that I am definitely confirmed for AnimeNYC next year. 2026 is one of the few things I'm confirmed for, because with Artist Alley you typically have to reapply every year. I only have 2 things confirmed for next year. I have Kineticon, which I'm going to be trying, and that's in mid-July, and I'm going to be doing AnimeNYC in late August again next year. So those are some cool things for me to look forward to, and hopefully exhibitors next year at AnimeNYC will not be such a terrible experience. The attendees, again, so nice. I do really love this show. I just had a really bad time this year. Okay, sales-wise, let's talk about sales. So as you know, I am no longer sharing my full numbers, but I can tell you, if you watched my last 2 AnimeNYC vlogs, revenue-wise, this was my best revenue best revenue AnimeNYC I've ever had in the past 3 years. This was my best one. So ranking-wise, this year, most revenue. 2023 November, second best. And then last year was the least revenue. However, profit-wise, I think 2023 November was still the best profit because the exhibitor booth cost so much. I did tell you already, the exhibitor booth cost in the end around $2,000. With the rebook, it cost a little bit less because I'm splitting it with a friend. So that's nice for me. And then for I also had to pay for Uber XL to bring my table into Javits and back from Javits. So my Uber cost ended up being quite a bit. I would estimate my Ubers to be around 200 total, including tip, and then also food. You saw I treated myself to some nice food, especially after some really bad days. I wanted some good food. So that also cost a little bit of money. My total cost ended up being around $2,500. I did cover all of that plus more with my revenue that I made at AnimeNYC. So I'm happy with my numbers. I can't be angry. I just am sad that my experience was so bad, you know? I don't really know how to explain this if you don't do Artist Alley, but sometimes, okay, so when you're doing like a sales job, usually you have some really great interactions and you have some really like kind of bad interactions, and they like kind of cancel out for the most part. This time it didn't cancel out. This time the bad experiences really sucked. But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with my numbers. I'm doing it again. I'm hoping that we will be able to troubleshoot the issues that I had this year and not have them next year. I'm excited to not have to bring in a table next year. It means that Alan won't have to help me bring my stuff in.
sales wise, day by day, Saturday was my best day, but only barely. And then Friday was my second best day. Sunday was my third best day. Thursday was the worst. Thursday, I heard all of the foot traffic pretty much went to Artist Alley. And I think that makes sense. If you're an attendee and you have 4 hours to shop the area, I also would go to Artist Alley before I went to Exhibitors. So I think that makes sense. I'm hoping that next year our placement for Exhibitors is going to be closer to Artist Alley. So it'll be more like people will come over to see my stuff, you know? But overall, I'm pretty happy. My Friday sales ended up being really high, average sale wise. So I didn't have that many sales. I think I had about 100 sales. My average sale, I think, was around like 36, which is much higher than normal. My normal average sale is usually around 20 to 25. And I have a theory about this. My theory is that in Exhibitors, one, there isn't as much art competition, right? Because most exhibitors are people who are reselling, or they are selling like the fandom plushies, they're selling fandom vinyl figures, stuff like that. So there isn't as much competition. My booth really stood out as a pink, cute art booth in Exhibitors. And second, I think that people who are walking Exhibitors are already ready to be spending more money. Because they're thinking, oh, like a vinyl figurine costs however much, right? So like this calendar costs a similar amount or slightly more for like a lot more art or whatever. So I think that people are more willing to spend more money in Exhibitors than in Artist Alley. I think that in Artist Alley, there's a lot more competition. I'm one of many pink booths in Artist Alley. So people are like, oh, I'm going to buy one sticker here. And then that pink booth over there, I'm going to buy another sticker over there and stuff like that. So the money distributes a little bit differently. That's my theory. Okay, as I've done Exhibitors one time, I'm very curious to see if that's true next year. I was surprised that my Saturday sales were not much higher than my Friday sales, because in the last 2 years, my Saturday sales have been much better. But I think that because I was crying most of Saturday and I was just like in a bad place on Saturday, I think that that's probably why. I think that I probably just looked like sad and angry. And then also I was dealing with a lot of people blocking my booth, and I wasn't asking them to move yet. So I think that definitely probably also had a factor in suppressed sales on Saturday. I think I packed the right amount. I packed around 20 of each of my prints, and I think 25 to 30 of my sticker sheets and stickers. I didn't really sell out of anything. I sold out of my Sanrio print, which I typically do sell out of. And I sold out of one of my sticker sheets, but that was because I only had like 7 left or something. So I think 20 to 25 is probably the right amount to bring, and then bring a little extra of your top sellers. I probably could have brought like 30 of my Sanrio prints, but that's okay. It made people buy the big Sanrio print, which is good because those are heavy. Oh, and I sold 8 of my plush. I sold like 5 of them, I think, on Friday, which was so shocking. I think that my plush stood out in Exhibitors because it's one of the only original art plushies that exists in Exhibitors. All the other plushies were like fandom plush or, mass resale plush. So that was really cool. And I wish I had sold more on Saturday. I brought more in on Saturday and I didn't sell any of them on Saturday because my stuff was blocked for most of the day. And then I sold more again on Sunday. So, again, a note, advocate for yourselves. This is more a note for me. Advocate for yourself. Tell people to move out of the way. Marianne was really helpful, and she reminded me that like I would have been up in people's business telling people to move if she were the one sitting in my booth crying. So she kept saying, just do what I would do for her. And she's right. I would absolutely tell people to move out of the way. And I have done it many times helping Marianne. So treat yourself like how you would treat your bestie. Yeah, that's all I have to say. This was kind of a long video. I hope it wasn't too cringe that I showed myself like freaking out and crying a little bit, and like swearing a little bit. I'm sorry. Normally I try to make my vlogs really like happy, cheerful, cozy vibes. But I wanted to be honest with you guys. I wanted you guys to know that like I wasn't having a good time. And I am sorry if it seems dramatic, I guess. I don't want to be a drama queen. I don't think I am a drama queen. I think the video does come off a little dramatic. So, yeah. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know if it was too much, okay? I will see you all next week. I have been resting. No, I have not been resting. I've been working, but next week I hope to be resting. So I don't know what I'm filming for next week yet, but we'll find out. And in the meantime, I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for being part of my cozy little space on the internet. I need to go feed my dog now. She's been Boba. She's been very good waiting for me. Do you have anything to say? All right. We're gonna have a good September. We're gonna play with our dog, and we're gonna be mostly home drawing cute stuff. And that's gonna be a good time. All right. Bye, friends.